All right, everybody, here's the deal. I am on my way over to SavageCom.entertainment because I fell in love with Kimberly Michael and I want to follow all of her videos. By the way, she's me, I'm her. So follow me over there, SavageCom.entertainment. Look me up, In Love with Kimberly Michael, so you can fall in love with me too. I'm a woman, so I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. Around screaming that they're healed from their trauma self, which is the whole point of the show is women and accountability of women and accountability. I can hold myself accountable. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. In Love with Kimberly Michael. She is me. I am her. Big shout out to SavageCom.entertainment, who's under the weather tonight. So sending him love and light, hoping he feels better. And we all know that's Jim Savage, right? I call him Jay. Everybody knows that. So big shout out to him. And I appreciate him because he's still back there pushing all the damn buttons for me. So sweet. So tonight, I'm just sharing a few things. So tonight we're talking, I just kind of had it. Like, this is kind of on me. Like, this is coming from me and directly, I am the content. Somebody told me today, our life is content. And I'm receptive to, pretty much anything he says to me. So, but he made the comment to me, and on my other show on Sunday nights, it's about awareness, liberation, and love. And, I'm very transparent on the show, even though I'm transparent on here, that show is a little bit different. So, excuse me. Yeah. So this show is tonight. It's definitely about women, but I had in the midst of all of this, I've had an epiphany, literally an epiphany. And so I want to talk about just how I was feeling in the aftermath of, and if you watched this show last week, you'll remember that I was talking to you about a few people that had a few women over the course of a few years, not like repeatedly all the time or anything, but a few women that had, unnecessarily, let me say that, on a multitude of levels, approach me about their significant others and potentially me having an affair with those people or something, or accusing me, or I don't know, telling me who they were and that sort of thing. So this is all kind of stemmed from that. And for those of you who don't know, I don't even know that I've ever brought it up, but I'm on TikTok. It has nothing to do with my podcasts, really. It has nothing to do with my podcast, but I'm on TikTok and I'm on there. I'm on a lot. My intention is every day. So almost every day. And, I got a little bitty baby following. It's kind of cute or something. I can go live on TikTok and stuff like that. I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers or anything crazy. I just got a few hundred or, something like that. Anyway, actually I have like 1,600 followers. So, But I do have a shit ton of likes, so that's kind of dope. But anyway, so I have been inspired to write by another writer. He's an artist really in every spectrum of the word. He's an artist, but he's definitely a writer, and he does like spoken word, and he has inspired me again on so many levels, because some of the stuff that he does is very similar to what I have done, but I just stopped doing it. And so that's one reason. And some of the stuff he says, the truth in his writing is unbelievable. And so, and I think just, in general, because of him, I'm inspired as well too. So with all that being said, my point is I've been writing, and my writing is come out on TikTok. Like that's where I'm kind of doing it. So I posted a post yesterday, and I saw it one way, and so somebody else saw it a different way. But I've been running across, and one of these women is really close to me, but I'm not gonna mention who it is. But maybe more than one of the women that I'm going to talk about. There might be more than one person that's around me that is this way. But and listen, let me be very clear about what I'm about to say. I was the women that I'm about to talk to you about. I was them. I was the women that I'm about to be speaking about, the type of women, the behaviors of these women. I had these behaviors. I am not speaking from almighty, and looking down and judging. I am kind of judging, but we'll talk about that why. We'll talk about why I'm judging. So for all y'all are here, thank you. I appreciate y'all for showing up. Please subscribe, like, and share the shit out of the show. Please, please, please. And it doesn't matter how many times you've been here, still hit the like button, okay? I forgot to share on TikTok, by the way. So what would be interesting if any of any across the spectrum, like I really wanted to send an invite. Oh, Kim on TikTok. Jay's so dope. See how he doesn't even feel good, and look what he did. That's me on TikTok. I mean, y'all know I'm in love with Kimberly Michael across the board. So, and I might be falling more in love with myself than I was before. So God help everyone that's involved with me if that happens. But anyway, I don't have my book. And so, Jay, I'm going to send Jay a video, because I don't think I have my book down here. Hold on. I don't think I brought my book downstairs. I keep my book literally with me at all times, and I didn't bring it, but because I had it written down. But I'm going to let Jay, I'm going to send it to Jay. So I don't, because he's got too many to pick from. I'm going to let him play the video because I really want to talk about it, because I've listened to it myself. It was one of those things that I wrote and then I did it. And then I listened back and was like, just wow. And I had a conversation with someone, and hopefully they'll come on and we can have the conversation, or he can, be, in the conversation. But anyway, we had a conversation, and, he was like, there's a lot of women that probably really need to hear, what you're saying, because I have mixed feelings about all of it. And I'm coming to a place where I don't even know. I honestly, like, I'm just at a very unique place in my life that I've never been. And I got all this, I don't know, decision making is not the best word that I want to use, but I got all this shit going on, right? So anyway, let me send this to Jay. You guys know that I can't be on my phone and do anything else. So hold on. Oh, I don't want y'all to hear it. Okay, did I stop it? Okay, I did. Hold on, Jay. I'm about to send it to Jay. Y'all bear with me. I'm not good at it. Hold on. Jay. Okay. I sent it to you, Jay. Hopefully he can do it. I mean, I know he does it with other stuff. I'm almost positive he can. I'm almost positive he's had other. That he put TikToks up here. So hopefully he's gonna play it. But this show really is about healing, because there's levels to this shit, y'all. Okay, you don't just heal and then you're healed. Okay, it's not how it works. I don't know if I think that I was waiting for this big, like, wake up one day and be a completely changed woman, and feel like I speak and feel the happiness and the joy and the peace, like really feel it, right? Like, I have moments, intense moments, where I feel the fuck out of my own energy, where I'm just happy and joyful and peaceful, and I'm appreciative and I'm grateful. I have those moments, right? But I have other moments where I'm like, you know what, just fuck this shit. Fuck being nice, fuck being happy. I just want to be miserable. I mean, I know that sounds terrible, but the truth, right? So it's a TikTok of me. Yes, it's a TikTok of me, Jay. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm starting to realize that's not the case. Now, I will say this: on another show, Soul Amun-Ra had asked me, like, what was the point, the moment? And I think that's where it all kind of stemmed from, because I had to think about that question. Like, did I have an aha moment? I had multiple aha moments. And I want to talk, I'm specifically speaking about, I don't know, I'm going to say the woman I was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I'm talking to, I was healing and had done therapy and done all this stuff and really thought I was, and then, something will happen and my behavior is just fucking unnecessary, right? I'm shocked by my own behavior. And I'm like, okay, that's not all right. Like, the fuck? That's not a healed behavior. That's not a behavior stemming from a healed woman or a wise woman, right? So I had to check myself several fucking times over the last few years. And I mean, check myself hard. And on top of that, because I live a little bit differently than a lot of people when it comes to forgiveness, I have found. And I don't believe in forgiveness. I'm not going to have a conversation about it. We're not going to talk about it. Thank God Seven Savante is not here, because he would make me have a whole conversation about it. But no, I hope he is. Hopefully he'll show up too. But and Gilly too, where she's at. But and so in the midst of me self-evaluating these behaviors and myself and where they came from, people were hurt. I hurt people, right? I hurt their feelings, or, something. I've offended them, or whatever be the case, right? And so the only thing I can do in these moments, because of my view on forgiveness, is hold myself accountable loudly. Okay? Loudly. Which is what I do. I cannot, nor will I, ask them, the person that I've hurt, for forgiveness, because I don't believe in it. It doesn't make sense for me to ask them for something that I am will never be in a position to do, right? With that being said, and I've said this before, and I got to tell y'all something else, but I said this before too. I need something to write on, you guys. Shit. Hold on. I gotta have something. I gotta write so I can remember. I was on an interview. Okay. Now I forgot what I was, even talking about. But anyway, the behaviors, right? There are so many women right now that are in a position of healing, and they've got to this really great place of healing, and they feel great and they're doing great things, and they're starting to understand their worth a little bit more, but they're still using their trauma as an excuse for the bad behavior when it arises, right? So because over the past few years, like I was saying on the last show, how these women would come for me, right? And I always had a different approach because I used to be that chick. My ex-husband, ex-partner of 20 years was unfaithful. A fucking lot. And I was that chick that called the chicks. I was the chick that went through his phone. I was the chick that texted the other women, called them. I wanted to talk. Now, I was never rude or shitty to any of them. I was, and I think I said this on the last show, but I was definitely her. I mean, I was that chick. I had questions, and mostly I just wanted to know if they were fucking. I'm just going to be honest. I just want to know, are you fucking? Because he's not going to tell you that. He's going to say, I talked to her, but it wasn't nothing or whatever. I mean, he's never to this day admitted to anything, even when he's never even admitted to anything, even with like solid, substantial proof. Wow, almost like said some shit. So, I really did that. That was really just my main question for them, and I always would say to them, like, woman to woman, can you just tell me what's going on? Are you fucking my husband? Like, well, how hard is this, And none of them would ever say anything to me. They'd be like, go ask him. I'm like, well, bitch, if I asked him, I wouldn't be asking you because I know who the fuck you were and what you were doing with him because he would have told me, And so this TikTok has stemmed from all this. And like I said, last week, I got an inbox from some chick about some dude. I mean, he follows me on here, but I mean, I've had a handful of, conversations with him outside of this platform. Gilly went to high school with him. I don't know him. She's accusing me of going to high school with him. And she's got this fake Facebook page. And I wanted to invite her on here. Honestly, I'm not even gonna fucking lie. I started to, but these are the things I have to have conversation with like, am I being petty or do I really want to have a healed conversation with this chick? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know where I'm at right there. And that's how this video came about, because I didn't know, like really what I didn't know how I wanted to present myself, but I felt the need. So we'll listen to the video and then we'll talk about it.
Grand Rising, everyone. Soul inspired.
Oh, Jay, that's the wrong one. Is that the one I sent you? Wait a minute. It might not be. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me just make sure because I'm sorry. Let me listen to it. Because I did 2 or 3. Oh no, that's it. Go ahead. I'm so sorry. My apologies. That's my bad. That's it.
Grand Rising, everyone. Soul inspired. The beginning. I want to come for you. I also want to speak words of healing to you. Fuck karma. Duality's the bitch. So what do I say to me? The old me, the me of the past, the me before the healing? Because in this moment, she is you. And it's no secret I'm no fan of her or her brokenness. I'm still trying to rectify her presence in my life. So when other wounded women show up and stand before me, it's hard for me to see them, as I can only see their wounds as weakness. You speak affirmations and healing words. You burn sage and you're creating a tribe. And I respect the fuck out of that. But your integrity has to be addressed, because character is who you are in the dark. So let me shed some light. I can't fight your demons. But I will quench your thirst for acknowledgement and validation. Now that your tribe has publicly descended upon me, I will stand before all of you and show my hand as I stopped competing the moment I overstood my worth. So here's my hand. I love him authentically and peacefully. I love his pain, his torture, his heart, and I offer him peace and I worship all of him, raw and uncut. Honestly, I care not for the other souls in his life because they are just that, souls in his life. I am a soul in my own. Feel the difference? Yes, you should call in your tribe. Not for me or for him, but for you. Because if they are truly your tribe, they will hold you accountable for your wounds, for your brokenness, and for your behavior. I understand that you're hurt at this, because this ain't that. But this ain't a him and me problem, baby. It's about you. So I hope you heal.
So let me tell you. So let me tell you guys. When I did that, like I literally had to redo that back to myself. And I realized why I don't advocate. That was the brainstorm, like why I don't advocate for women just yet. Just yet. This whole thing may change that. What's up, Jason? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you. Thanks. I don't know, right? But I always I always speak on this show and my other show. I speak about words. I speak about how important words are. I speak about these fucking narratives that we keep pushing and pushing, and we think they're cute when we've got these memes out. You know, I do my best to speak about manifesting and how it sounds cute, but when you're, you know, the women, children, whomever, men are repeating these same memes, and they have the intention behind them because they feel them, they understand that, and it makes sense to them, but they're lies. And then and we have women walking around calling themselves healed and then behaving as if they're not and taking no accountability for the behavior. And again, that was me. I was saying I was healed and I still had really bad behavior. And I had to address my own behavior. And there was a multitude of factors and ways that I did that. But then I had to learn to change the behavior. I had or get rid of the behavior and replace it with a better behavior. Like I say this all the time, it takes effort. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how the fuck you men do it. I don't know how you put up with some of the women and the way that the women treat you and talk to you and deal with you. I don't know how you do it. I am truly grateful that I was able to really pay attention to how I talk to men and how I had a desire to change how I talk to men and how I approach them, even in anger, how I speak to them, to a man. And I think probably, honestly, it was on a podcast, I'm going to say about 2 years ago, maybe, or close to it. I had words with Chuck. I'm going to say his name. He was, it was on my podcast, but he was on it, or it could have been on an old podcast I was on called The Crow Show with Torch. But anyway, I was having a conversation about, I remember, I'll never forget, I was having a conversation about what my idea of my last relationship looked like my very last relationship and being in love and what that looked like, right? And he told me that I had a fairy tale idea about love and that it was never going to happen and that I was going to be alone for my life. That's what he told me. And I told him I rejected that comment. I rejected that completely. He was like, well, me and my wife, went through some things and everybody I know went through some things. And I was like, okay, that's y'all. Like, that's y'all's narrative. That is not my narrative. Calling me, my Gilly calling me on Messenger when she know good and damn hell well we on the show. Why's she playing? Y'all hear her? Y'all hear this shit? Y'all hear this shit? Anyway, I'm sorry about the noise. Let me get Gilly right quick, y'all. Pardon the interruption. Are you serious?
What's the fucking problem?
I'm fucking live. Bye.
Oh, bye.
Okay, so she's my girl. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is what I'm talking about. You see the shit with the, what the fuck? So anyway. And I got sidetracked, so I'm just going to go back to a subject. And I want to say that Cooks 24, who's on here a lot. Now, look at her. Hey, Gilly. Hey, everybody heard you, by the way. He interviewed me. He hit me up and wanted to do an interview and interviewed me on Instagram. It was a dope ass interview. It actually lasted for like 2 hours. But I just wanted to tell you all about that. That's what I wrote down, but it was more to it than that. But anyway, so the women and the behaviors, like the only thought I can think of right now is when I was saying that, I feel bad, for the guys, especially the women who are claiming, that they're healed and walking around spewing affirmations over everybody. And I do it. I'm gonna be honest. I do it. I spew affirmations as much as possible. I really do. But I also have already checked my fucking self. So when I act some type of way, I'm sure I make sure that I'm holding myself accountable for they cray in these streets for real. I mean, Gilly's following the chick from last week that I was telling y'all about. Gilly tried to get on last week and she couldn't get on because she has messages from this chick too. She calls me Hooker Kim. And again, I've never even met this woman and this man. I've never met either one of them. Lost their collective minds. Yeah. And so Gilly's following her and she's insane. I'm just going to be fucking honest. I think she's insane. I mean, the shit that she says on her page and the post, half the shit doesn't even make any logical sense. And then she's got some fucking one friend. She's only got like a few friends on the page, like 15 or so. But she's got this fucking one friend that's maybe she's not always commented. I don't know. I haven't been on the page since I was on the page since she inboxed me a couple weeks ago. But there was one chick that was liking all the shit and then commenting. And we were like, maybe it's her because who does that, And I'm not saying I don't think she's probably burning sage and walking around saying she's healed. But I know several women and what they do is they do all of those things. But it's like a fucking show. It's like they're trying to attract a certain man. And so they want to put out a certain behavior, but they can't maintain that behavior because it's not even who they are yet. It's who they want to be, but it's not who they are yet. And honestly, I'm sick of chicks like that coming for me. And this is here. Now this goes back to the sympathy part and the empathy part of it and the compassion. I haven't rectified that chick from my past. Like I said in the video, the woman that I was when I was in that 20-year relationship, being dehumanized and degraded and browbeaten and abused every single day, literally every single day, especially in the end. I know that she saved me. I know that she was strong enough to get me through each and every day. But even when I look at old pictures of her, I don't like her. I'm not okay with her. And again, like I said in the video, so when someone wounded stands in front of me, maybe sometimes in the moment I'm able to have some compassion and reach out to them. But when a wounded woman comes for me or causes some type of conflict and confusion, me or otherwise, in my, in my sphere, if you will, or in my space, or around my people that I consider my people and they consider me their people, don't do that. Don't diminish the value of the women who have truly healed and checked their behaviors. Stand in who you are. I did a whole day, hours, days, actually, because I do that. I hyper focus. I hyper focused on integrity one day. I don't even know where it came from. I needed to know, and the definition wasn't enough, and I needed specifics, and I needed, and I just would, throughout the day I would, oh, hey, let me go back to that page and read something else, and let me go to another page and read something else. Basically, integrity is when you act what you speak. It means that what you say and who you say you are, you really truly are. So when you say you're not racist, do you project that when you're in front of people who are? Right? And I'm just using that as an example. But this is, and the women, you're healed, but is that how you project yourself in the dark when you're not home, when nobody's watching? What are you doing? How are you doing it? What behaviors do you have? Do you project that in front of your tribe because they'll let you, they're your girls, just like, me and Gilly, same thing. Oh, well, we're girls and shit. That don't mean nothing. Gilly be, me and her both. Me and her we have words. We definitely get in each other's ass. She'll straight up be like, oh, you not getting enough attention today? Like, she'll check my ass on shit like that, right? And I'm just being honest. I am a little needy, but I got a lot of love to give. That's the only reason why I need somebody to give it to throughout the day. Come on, give me a break already, right? So, but this shit is honestly, it's getting out of hand, man. I mean, some of these women, are all spiritual and, burning sage, like witchy and earthy and hippies and gypsies, and, they're all spouting out, like I said, affirmations and, saying that they're healed. And then they turn around in the same breath and they're hateful and jealous and insecure, and they're not. Those are all things that have to be addressed when you're healing. You can't be a wise woman if you're walking around in behaviors that's not wisdom anymore. That's just you. And Gilly says integrity is doing the right thing when no one is looking, but the way you said it was way better. I mean, there's a quote: character is who you are in the dark, and it's by an unknown person. And I actually, it was in an old Bible that I had, believe it or not. It was a Bible that had like different stuff inside within it or whatever. And I just always remembered that quote. And it's, I don't change my behavior. Like when I get off here, I talk like this, I drink my bourbon. I'm not different. I'm not really different other than I'm, don't wear earrings at home. But other than that, if I say that I stand for something, I stand for it across the board. If I say that this is what I believe in, I believe in it across the board. I don't pick and choose when. That part of the integrity is what I'm speaking about. And it's not just broken women, it's broken men too. But again, we all know I'm speaking to women because I am a woman. I'm not speaking to the men. That's for y'all to resolve amongst yourselves. Those are conversations that you men can have about integrity and speak to each other about what you know about to each other as men. You know, we as women, this shit, we need to check our own integrity. I feel like integrity is a masculine thing that when I've ever heard about it or thought about it, that I always thought about like a man having integrity. I never thought about a woman having it. And I don't, and I'm, of course it's not a masculine or feminine energy. I mean, of course it's not, but I think that I always thought that for some reason. And so I'm wondering if it's some of the stuff that women lack, you know, because, you know, people call, because I'm a Gemini, people say I'm two-faced all the time. Like they're like, oh, you're a Gemini, you're two-faced. We're not two-faced. There's two of us. And, you know, on any given day, one or both of us may or may not fucking like you. That's not two-faced. It's just fucking reality. Like, you know, I don't like everybody all day, every day. You know, I get up some days and I will literally call my daughter and tell her, you do understand that I don't like anybody right now in this moment. There's no one that I like but you. I don't like anybody else. And that's just fucking true. And that's just the way it is. That's not being two-faced. I'm sure Gilly's heard me say that. I'll be like, I don't fucking like anybody today. You know, there are days Gilly don't like me. That's fine. There's days I don't like Gilly. That's cool too. Like, it is what it is. But I don't alter my behavior again. And I think that we really need, as women, need to stop having a conversation about our integrity, because y'all are just saying any fucking thing you want to say, pretending to be anybody you want to be pretending to be, instead of just fucking becoming the person. Like, figure out who you are and become the person. And here's my lack of, you know, sympathy and compassion again, because fuck, you know how many of us have already done that? Like, scaled our asses by our fucking fingernails out of the depths of hell. There's millions of us, right? Millions of us that have scaled our way out of like nothing, come from nothing to get somewhere, to get anywhere besides where we fucking were, you know? And so this is me looking back at her, you know, oh, I want to throw rocks at her some days, you guys. I really do. And so when a woman comes at me like I came at other women, you know, and well, they don't even come at me like that. They come at me disrespectfully usually, you know. And when I say come at me, I don't know if y'all understand what I'm saying. I had somebody ask me, they kept saying, she's really coming for you. Yeah. Like I consider, if you go out of your way to find me, to even send a message or go out of your way to go, I can't make this shit up. Some random ass dude on my Facebook, this has happened multiple times to me. I swear, multiple times to me. And I blocked the men. And I'll tell you why in a second. I blocked the men. I'm writing something down. So there's a few men that are on my t-shirt and her panties on. No, I have a dress on, actually. I have a really pretty dress on, actually. I have a dress on. I have a white dress on. But anyway, it's not the point. It's not the point. Gilly, God dang it. So, I fucking hate you. Oh, yeah, the Facebook thing. So, and social media is a bitch. I get that. I mean, I understand, but I can't get off social media. And I don't really have a whole lot of problems or issues or concerns, because I don't really care. Like, I don't care. I just block people. Like, I hope you heal and I move on. Like, I don't consume myself with that kind of shit. I just really don't. I just block them. But anyway, I have literally just had like random women come on my page and make a comment under a comment. Like, they're not my friend, but they're friends with a guy who made a comment on my post, and they'll come under and make a comment on my post in reference to this guy, like coming for me. They went to his page went to his friends, and literally just started going down until they, I guess, found a friend. Or I guess you can see if somebody comments on a post or something, on their friend's post. Maybe. I don't know how it all works. I know it works, and I know I see shit, but I don't know exactly how it works. But anyway, that's coming for me. I don't mean like came and knocked on my door and, you know, threatened me and all that. Even though the last chick did last week, she threatened me. She said she was going to put me in the obituary. That's what she told me. But these women like came on my posts, and I was like, why is she saying that? Then I go to her page. She's not my friend, but she's friends with the guy who made the comment under my post. You know what I mean? Like I had on like say red, right? And he said something about he liked the red dress, and her comment was, yes, he loves red. Get the fuck out of here. Like, who, that shit is so fucking petty. That shit is so fucking petty. But yeah, and so I blocked the guys because I was like, could you get your, I mean, of course I block her too. And I tell them, like, get your bitch, like, get her, like, what is she doing? Like, what is happening? You know, like this, it's not okay. Right. Get her off my fucking page, and you can get the fuck on too. Right. But anyway, that kind of shit, like, that's the kind of shit we got to stop doing to each other. Because at the end of the day, first of all, if it's about a dude, why are you not checking yourself? Why are you not fucking holding yourself accountable for the woman that you are that gets up every fucking day and chooses his fucking sorry ass? If he's so fucking sorry and he's a cheater and he's all these things, then what in you is keeping you from healing yourself to the point that you will fucking choose yourself? When are you going to choose you? When are you going to stop coming for the men, stop coming for the women, and start coming for your fucking self? When are you going to do that? Because that is the only way that you are truly going to make any progress in your healing. It's truly the only way that you are ever going to even look like you want to graduate from knowledge to wisdom. Because wisdom is knowledge applied. And you cannot apply your knowledge if you don't apply your knowledge. You can't keep saying over and over again that you are healed and that you are all of these things, and then walking around still behaving like a fucking jackass. Like, here's the little bit of anger that I have about it. The fuck do I got to do with what the fuck is going on in your life? I mean, truthfully, half the women that have come from are literally chasing a ghost. I have nothing to do with the men that they're accusing me of having anything to do with. And that's the God honest truth. And the other half of them that are, coming for me are coming for me years later, like literally over a year later. Everybody else is like reached out. What are you doing? Like, what the fuck are you doing looking at year-old messages trying to contact these women? And why aren't you looking at yourself and how brutally broken that you are? Why aren't you stepping the fuck up for yourself? Why are you wasting your time with the men and the fucking women? First of all, I'm not saying that there aren't women out here doing dirt fucking on purpose and that's just how they like to do it. I am not obviously speaking, but the majority of women, half the time, don't know if these what people lie all day, every day, all day long. There's social media secret accounts everywhere. Like, we don't always know. And I say we because I've been in that situation where, well, at least per the woman, hey, we're together, they're married, whatever. How would I know? How the fuck would I know? I might have seen a cat for a few weeks or something. Like, how would I know? We haven't even gotten to the point where we should be at each other's house and all these kind of things. So, like the one chick said, oh, you only talk to him at times you know he's away from his wife. Are you fucking serious right now? Like there's a million different times that a man can be at home or not at home or away from somebody. A million different types of times. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me. And honestly, I guess I'm tired of it. I feel bad for, I want to say I feel bad for the women that I hit up, but I don't know. I don't know if I feel bad for them just because, again, I wasn't really shitty or anything. Like some of these women are fucking shitty to me. Some of them are just fucking petty. Some of them are childish as fuck. Some of them are just fucking childish. Then I should have invited everybody on here because I don't have any problem talking to none of them and letting them know, one way or the other what my truth is. I don't know if they'd be able to come on and have a peaceful conversation because to me, none of these women that have approached me, maybe one of them has been peaceful. The rest of them, are full of hostility and anger and, they're angry at me and they're angry at the dude. And, you're there though. You're 5 years in. This the first time. You 6 years in. This the first time. You engaged a year and a half. This the first time. You in an open relationship. Why is you confused? You in a poly relationship. Why are you confused? You're in a policy relationship, but you omitting shit. What the fuck is going on? Like, what are we really doing? Especially as women. Again, I'm talking specifically to the women. I'm sick of their asses. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sick of y'all. Go fucking handle yourself. Go deal with what the fuck you got going on that makes you keep choosing men like this, right? And listen, don't think for 1 second that I haven't thought about the other end of this conversation coming back to me that I'm choosing these men too. Yeah, but baby, I ain't keeping their asses. Okay? I'm not hanging out with them on the regular basis. I'm not keeping them in my sphere. The minute I realize or see the bad behavior or the toxicity or whatever it is that I see that doesn't coincide with who I am as a fucking human being, I'm out. I ain't got no problem cutting off somebody. Okay? I'm known for ghosting. I'm known for ghosting. I when I was dating, I would tell Gilly had to come for me about it because I would tell men up front, I'm probably going to ghost you. If you're not him, one day I'll just get up and you won't hear from me again. Give a fuck. Why I need to say anything to y'all, right? I'm not the one hanging around. Y'all are. It's the women that are hanging around with the men over and over again, doing the same shit repeatedly over and over again. And they calling everybody, talking to everybody. They want to have conversations. They posting shit on social media, dogging the dude out and doing all these things. They don't hold themselves accountable for 1 fucking minute for the reason that they're there in the first fucking place. What you doing there? Why you with them? Because you love him? That shit is fucking played out. You can love somebody and leave them. It happens all the fucking time. People do it all the time. My mother and father were married for 24 years and they were 25 years, I'm sorry. And they were high school sweethearts. And they got a divorce. And I remember my dad coming to me and telling me, not my mama, my daddy coming to me. Because they both wanted a divorce, basically, kind of, sort of, anyway. My daddy came to me and he said, I love her, but I have to go. I love her with all my heart, but I cannot stay. And the older I got, because I was about 19, 20 then, I understood. And boy, this last relationship, that 20 years, at the end of that 20 years, that's where I was. Because at that time, I just was convinced that I loved him. I mean, he was a master manipulator. Master manipulator. And of course, I was diagnosed with Stockholm syndrome and all those big words that everybody talks about and all that. So, okay, I love my, person, whatever. But it didn't matter. I loved him and, I left. And I know people who love people and they leave. So loving somebody at this point is just a fucking played out explanation. I mean, a played out excuse for you to stay in your own misery and not hold yourself accountable and not heal your wounds and not check your own fucking behavior. You know, this whole show started out because me and Jay were in a group on Facebook that there's a podcast, and it is predominantly, I mean, it's a predominantly Black group. I don't know that if there was 5 white folks in this group, I doubt it. And we had a lot of content, didn't we, Jay? We had a lot of fucking content about that group and the way that the women talk to the men. Oh my, the way the women talk to the men. I was telling y'all that story, by the way. I remember now. But the way that the women talk to the men and stuff, me and Jay that's how like me and Jay started talking, because I would say stuff and the women would come for me. They didn't like me at all. And the men would come for me. And then of course they would be, you know, I would get it double because I'm a woman and I'm basically speaking on behalf of the men, if you will. Like I'm for the men, what they saying, like y'all the ones saying stupid shit. And because I'm white, which is fine. But at the end of the day, I'm still a fucking woman. Like I still get it. So, but yeah, we used to have these, you know, crazy, the way that the women would, I mean, whew, I rarely go to, every once in a while I'll see a notification. I barely even go to the group anymore because it was so rough. So real quick, subscribe, y'all. And Jay don't feel good, y'all. Send him love and light. He don't feel good. But subscribe, like, and share the shit out of the show. And hopefully he didn't fall asleep because he really didn't feel good, and got the show running without anybody running it. So, because normally he put up his little flashy thing. But anyway, like, subscribe, and share the shit out of the show, please. Even if you've been on and just forgot, please do that. So, but anyway, so that's how this show started. Was it being about women and accountability? And I know that we talk about it, and I know that but this is really, this right here, holding yourself accountable for your integrity. I think this needs to be an ongoing thing. Like, I think I need to make sure that I have conversations about women checking their integrity on the regular fucking basis. I think more women that are healed and that are in this place where they've checked their own shit, they need to be talking about integrity too, to women. I think this really needs to be a serious fucking conversation. Gilly, next Sunday on Podbean, we're doing a show on fucking integrity, because you're gonna start doing what the fuck you say you're gonna do. You're gonna start holding yourself accountable for your behavior, at least in my fucking presence. At least in my presence, because I'm not going to engage with your ass, you know. And I will say this, and hopefully won't upset my daughter, but my daughter likes to engage. She want to engage, and I'm the type of woman, like, and I will say what I have to say. You can say what you have to say. What's going on, strolling through? And I will let you know. I have to actually say it, so that, especially to men, you say what you say, I'll say what I say. If I understood what you said and you acknowledge that I understood, and you understand what I'm saying and you acknowledge it, we don't have to agree, but we will be moving the fuck on. Because what I'm not about to do is go the fuck back and forth with you about a conversation we've already had. If there's not a resolution, there's not a resolution. You believe what you believe. I understood what you said. You heard what I said and you comprehended and you understood what I said. No worries. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. And you understood what I said, and we don't have to talk about it anymore. We don't have to have these type of conversations any longer, you know, about this particular subject. It is what it is. Or there is a resolution. Either way, we don't have to keep continuing to talk about it. But this integrity shit, we're going to keep talking about, because it's like women giving women a bad name. Now they're breaking down I almost want to call it a genre. Isn't that funny? But, now there's this set of healed women that are coming about, right? And they're claiming to be healed, but they're not. They're claiming to be evolved. And, I guess maybe putting the ED on the end isn't the best idea. you know, and me and Gilly have had these conversations as well too, where, you know, she said, maybe you're healed and you just, you know, keep evolving. I can get with that. But I had this woman on her name's Romel Williams. She's on my TikTok too. I interviewed her on my podcast when I was doing interviews back in the day when I used to do interviews. She just wrote a book. It just came out. She just had a book signing. She moved to Atlanta. She's like a general manager of a Slutty Vegan over in Atlanta. She used to be my bartender in Birmingham. That's how I know her. So anyway, I interviewed her, but she had, when she was a child, I want to say she was 6 or 7, and she was in the room, and her mother killed her stepfather. And she talks about it. I'm not sharing anything people don't know. And, but she talks about it. And she was talking about how she was watching some show that she's been binge watching. And I don't know what it was. I couldn't tell you. And there was a part in the show that triggered her, like just instantly, whatever it was. I mean, she explained what it was, but instantly, she said it triggered her, and she like really badly, I guess, apparently, you know what I mean? And I don't know what her triggers look like or anything. I know what mine look like, but yeah, I mean, you can become, you know, the most that happens with me as a trigger is, well, I can kind of freeze up. Gilly knows that. She got me to safety one day because I froze up someplace. But anyway, that was another show too. We talked about that. But you know, I've done that where I'm watching a movie, 2 movies, and one movie's really good. I hate to say I don't remember it, but I don't. Shia LaBeouf was in it, and he had PTSD. And he was back, and he was going through it. And my ex, who did not, used to do shit like that. Like you know, Gilly, you know, I'm just having a moment, and I just want to say this because, you know, but I really honestly, I mean, I think he had mental illness. Like, I think there was, I mean, granted, my ex was a narcissistic sociopath. I mean, like legitimately a narcissistic sociopath, not like, hey, no, like for real. But the manipulation and the lies that he told just to manipulate and keep these stories going, you know, like, were ridiculous. Like, he never even saw battle or anything. He never even saw battle. And like I'm telling you this because of the movie. One night I was coming out of the bathroom, and he came in and acted like he was having a flashback. Can't make this shit up, you guys. Held me in the bathroom for 45 minutes as if I was a child who was standing on a landmine, maybe, you know, like the bombs or whatever that are underneath the ground. I don't know. I think they're called, I don't know what they're called, you guys. But any of you, if there's any ex-military or who knows guys that would know, and he was acting like he was reliving that moment where the kid was standing on this, and he was trying to, you know, he was like, you can't move, you got to be really still. Like, he's doing it. 45 minutes I spent in the bathroom with this man, literally pretending to be having an episode of a flashback. And he never even went to war. He was in the military, but he never went to war. He never saw battle, never saw combat at all. So anywho, nor did that happen, by the way. And in this movie with Shia LaBeouf, at the end, you know, he's like freaking the fuck out, and he's got the ex-wife or wife freaking out, and the kids freaking the fuck out, and he's under the tables and doing shit. And this was probably 5 years ago, and I completely triggered and lost my shit. There was another movie, of course, these are movies from Shitty Smitty. And the other movie, there was something horrible. I don't remember what it was. And I just literally just stood up and walked into his room because I wasn't allowed to cry in front of him. And this was an ex-boyfriend, and was hysterical, like sobbing, snot coming out my nose. I could not. I must have cried like that, sobbing like that for like 30 minutes at least. Like it was just uncontrollable and I couldn't stop. You just, that's not what I'm talking about. That's pain and trauma just being released. That's something different than what I'm saying. I'm definitely talking about like bad behaviors, the way you are talking to people, the way you treat people. If you have, again, insecurities, or you're violent, or you're angry, or you're projecting, those are not healed behaviors. Those are not healed behaviors. At some point, you really have to check your fucking self, because it is getting really more challenging for me to not lose my shit. I'm very peaceful in my responses. I do my best to, I say all the time that I am perfectly capable of verbally assaulting someone gracefully, or eloquently, however you look at it. But I'm not trying to assault. I'm trying to, make you aware. I have these shows and I talk about the things that I talk about for awareness. Like, did you fucking know this is happening? Because if you didn't know, now you do. Now you know that this is what's happening. Now you know that you are choosing. Now you know that you have trauma. You are loving out of your pain. And you need to rectify the pain that you are loving out of, because it is not healing you. And you just acknowledging that is not enough. You have to deal with it, and then you have to address the behaviors once you've dealt with it. You can be healed from something and still have fucked up behaviors, which is what I keep saying. That can still be happening. Again, it happened with me. And I had to check myself. I had to check myself with my drinking a couple years ago. I mean, check myself, baby. Gilly, was it a Tuesday afternoon? No, it was a Sunday. It was fucking probably a Tuesday too, but the first time it happened was on a Sunday. And I went to this little place that I didn't go there as much as my other bar, but there was one other place that I went to called Michael's in Birmingham. Excellent place, Black owned, beautiful. Owners, great. I sat down at the bar with a guy that I worked with part-time at another gig. I'm a hustler. And it's his family. That's how, I kind of knew about it, but he was there. And of course, he's just like slamming me drinks. And then there's a chick next to me. She's by herself. We just start talking and shit. He's giving us both drinks. We leave. I'm fine. I get in the car. We walk. Me and her leave together. She goes her way. I go to my car. See you later. I remember talking to her and everything. Got in my car. Was on my way home. There was a little bar down the street from me at the time. Pulled in there. Got the drink, and by the time I got from the bar to out front in front of the bar, I was fucking inebriated. And I am not fucking bragging about this, you guys. This is a serious story. I was inebriated. I'm talking fucked all the way up, inebriated. Like the whole place spinning, inebriated. And it was... Gilly, I don't know if you remember, but I feel like it was 2:00 in the afternoon, maybe. It was bad. I didn't have anybody to call. There was no way for me to drive, and I couldn't even walk. I legit couldn't walk. I called literally just a guy I knew. I mean, we did not have that type of relationship, but he was the only person I knew to call. and he couldn't come get me. He was literally he had his kids and he was making dinner. But he sent an Uber for me and got me home. So that was dope of him. I might thank him again tonight for that, just because I'm bringing it up, thinking about it. That was dope of him to do. He got me an Uber, got me home. She was really sweet to me. And I lay down and I woke up at about 10 o'clock that night. And I walked back up to the bar, got my car, and came home. And then, there's another incident, and I was violent. I was very violent. And, I had to check myself. Fuck, I'm calling myself healed, walking around here like I'm somebody, and I'm fucking violent. No. Where did that stem from? What did that come from? It took me a couple months to understand what had happened. But, you have to dissect things and talk about things and figure things out. And I'll tell you, I won't tell you the who's of it, but I will say that, I was violent with someone close to me, and I didn't understand, and they didn't want to talk about it for a few months. They wouldn't talk to me about it. So I really couldn't, I got out the car and walked barefoot the next day, literally. I mean, I walked for miles, you guys, miles, and they were following me in the car, and they would get out and try to get me in the car. And I had blisters on my feet, the tops of my feet and the bottom of my feet the next day. And I didn't say, I think I told Gilly about the blisters, but I didn't say a word about it because it was just what the fuck I deserved. Like, that's how I felt. You fucking deserve this shit. That shit hurt so fucking bad because they were on the balls and the heels. Like, there was no way I could walk the next day, literally. They were all the way across my feet. I walked barefoot for miles in the fucking street and on the sidewalk for miles. I'm going to say 3 or 4 miles in the middle of the fucking night, fighting all the way. Every time that person got out the car and tried to get me in the car, I was fighting them. And I finally got in the car and I finally made it home. But it took me months. And when I finally realized, once we had the conversation and I knew what happened, then I could finally have a conversation with myself about where that stemmed from and what happened. And I came to the conclusion that, first of all, it was 2 years ago. It's never happened again, thank God. But I came to the conclusion that a lot of that had to do with me not being able to fight back for so long in a relationship. I couldn't fight back. I tried a couple of times, but he would always overpower me. And there was I needed to save my strength because there would be, 8-hour sessions with this man where he was tormenting me and shit. And so I needed to save my strength. Sometimes, I know people say it all the time. They say, you need to pick your battles. And in my 20 years, I had to pick my battles. And that was just one of them. I did fight back occasionally. It was under different circumstances that I fought back. Nothing I want to get in here, but it was bad. But that was when I chose to save my strength to fight back on those particular occasions. And, but so I didn't fight back. And I felt like that's where that was coming from. That was some type of trigger for me that night. And it wasn't the only night. I'd be aggressive and violent sometimes when I was drinking, and I had to deal with that shit. Fuck, I'm supposed to be a wise G mama to my seeds when they get here. And my generationally, how am I supposed to be the wise grandma? And I'm fucking violent and hostile and angry and masculine. Fuck, I'm supposed to teach anybody anything. These are women that are my age and a little bit younger too, acting. What the fuck are we doing? What is y'all doing? This is the way y'all gonna be with your seeds? This is the way you want your kids to remember you? Hostile, violent, talking shit, screaming at a man, hollering at one, dogging him out, in the corner, dogging out men. What the fuck? What happened to us having a little fucking, some compassionate for the men? Like, how the men supposed to heal if we and women can't nurture them? Answer me fucking that question. How the hell are we supposed to heal them? We're the nurturers. We're supposed to nurture them. How are we supposed to do that? How are they supposed to heal all the way if they don't have a woman to nurture them? I had this conversation with somebody too. Like, listen, I think last time or the time before Jay put up a video of a kid. He was saying that, most of the men don't want unconditional love and they only get it from their moms, and a lot of them don't even get it from them. I think a lot of what's going on with men and women now is that men who were mistreated or neglected or abandoned by their mothers don't allow a woman to, men and women both say, he don't need a mama, he got a mama. But what about the ones who don't? Because it's the nurturing is not a mama thing, it's a woman thing. It's supposed to be. I'm not saying men can't nurture. Again, talking about women, talking about our asses. We're the nurturers. We can still nurture a grown-ass man. I mean, y'all do fucking know that, right? And that's our fucking job, is to nurture. So if you find a man who is healing and he's addressing trauma and he's doing those things, your input to balance him and to help him is to nurture him. Not necessarily heal him, although I know somebody who would negate that. But we can help them heal by nurturing them. But we can't nurture them. We can't nurture ourselves. We can't nurture our children. The fuck are we going to nurture? How are we going to heal each other if we can't even step in our roles and do what the fuck we're supposed to do in our roles? And I know I'm going to get pushed back for that, but y'all already know I don't care. Find your place and go do you. Don't worry about what I'm saying over here. I'm not projecting hate. I'm projecting love. I'm an advocate. I always have been. That's the one thing that I will advocate for is love. And we can't have love without healing. And we can't have healing without love. And we're walking around without both. And the women need to check their integrity. They need to make sure that what the fuck they're saying and what they're doing and what they're projecting is actually how it absolutely equal with the actions that they carry. You need to make sure that who you say you are is actually who you really, truly are. You need to make sure that you are stepping up and holding yourself accountable. Because frankly, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of dealing with healed women and you're acting a damn fool. For real. And again, I was already there and did it. I ain't gonna lie. Thank God I didn't have social media where I could actually go somewhere. I mean, and I know I'm going way back and I could be just being childish about even bringing it up. But I'm, even in high school, like I did some petty ass shit. I was not the bitch to play with in high school. Like I was not nice. I was not nice to like exes and their girlfriends and shit like that. Like I was not nice. I was not the nice girl about it. I really wasn't, and probably not until, I was much older did that shit settle down. It just ended up being, the phone calls and the text messages or whatever. But I don't want to get sidetracked and I don't want to hold Jay on here too long. He doesn't feel good. And I know he'll say, no, it doesn't matter, but it does. Cause he really, really was not feeling up to par. So I appreciate y'all for showing up. It was good to see everybody. And, I know it's really challenging and I know, even for the guys, but if you see somebody and that's not who you said you were. So you're either who you're acting like you are or you're who you said you were, but you need to, align that shit. And I read on, y'all should read up on integrity. I read too that if your integrity isn't at 100%, that it fucks with your energy and your vibrational level and all of those things. And it fucks with you in general because you're not living up to the person that you are intending yourself to be. And I get manifestation and believing that you are who you are before you are that. But I also believe that you have to check your own behavior, and you have to, I've said this a million times, you literally have to train yourself to behave a different way. We cannot keep on with this bullshit, honestly. Like, check your shit. You're wounded. I'm telling you, women, I'm telling you, you're wounded. You have broken pieces. Fix it. Find it, fix it, and then repair your behavior. I tell you one thing, I promise on this one. How you think you feel now will be intensified 150,000% once you realize your worth and realize your behavior is not matching up to your healed narrative, and you bring that shit to balance and you're walking in your integrity. I guarantee you that that feeling you keep hoping you're going to come across will show the fuck up. So thanks for showing up. Podbean, Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Central Time. YouTube, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. TikTok, In Love with Kimberly Michael. Facebook, In Love with Kimberly Michael. Instagram, In Love with Kimberly Michael. SavageCom.entertainment, Jim Savage. Who's all on here with stuff? I don't think anybody's on here that would normally. Jason, thanks for showing up and strolling through. Gilly. And I will see you guys next week. Appreciate y'all. And to all my Black men, I believe in you and I love you. And you're very needed and valuable and relevant. Just remember that. So have a great night. Bye.